PvP too. So is the stream up right now? Okay.
Third dragon fight is occurring right now with Avanti actually dead. This is going to be a 4 versus 4. Cataclysm goes down, Courage flashes out of this. This means Jasmine has to run away. He's low, but he goes down. T-Doll is snared. He might go down as well. A single hit left. He's going to fall. Satchel Charge getting a slow onto Clara. This means Hypoxia follows up, gets the reset for a double kill. Only survivor is going to be Mr. Flaccid, and the dragon completely defenseless. He saw that entire team fight go down, and now he is next.
That is exactly what FSU needed to do. They won that, I'm pretty sure, actually 5-4 or 4v5 on their end. Lightning just went ham and landed a ton of skill shots, really just setting the pace for that team fight, allowing Hypoxia just to run in there and get a bunch of kills.
Yeah, and just like that, with a single turret and a single dragon, plus a few kills under their belt, Florida State University are now 2,000 gold ahead of Connecticut, University of Connecticut. Amazing how quickly the tides turn this game. It really is neck and neck.
Yeah, that's, like I said, exactly what they needed. They were pretty much do or die there. They were going to fall susceptible to that scaling had they not made that big play. And let's see if they can actually take that advantage they took. They do get a bunch of items out of that. The Yumu's Ghost Blade, the cooldown boost coming out for Hypoxia, and that's a massive power spike. And Kog'Maw still doesn't actually have his Blade of the Varun King, so if they are able to start taking control of Connecticut's jungle and really threatening them with that pick possibility coming out of Kazan and Maokai, then we could see this game turn around completely, even more so than it already has.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're both at 26-10.
Yeah, just press J to jump to live. The game did just lock up at about 26 minutes, so it could be that you are live and that we're bugged and we'll have to reload. Are we still live on stream? Okay. Yeah, I crashed as well. Maybe we reconnect, maybe we don't. Hopefully we do. I don't know why I'm doing this accent, but regardless, continues to happen. There it is. That's my favorite word. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot. That is a word that I use all the time.
Which?
Regardless.
That's your favorite word, really?
That is one of my favorite words. I use that while casting. I really shouldn't.
I think my favorite word is irreverent. It's so nice to say.
He is completely irreverent of the happenings around. It's a good one.
I like it.
I like that word. Rolls off the tongue. Just like how Florida State University are rolling towards victory. Take a look at the ward placement coming out from Florida State University, if anyone is reconnected. They have got some incredible vision control.
Yep, that absolutely is what they need to do. They really understand how to, as soon as they got the advantage, they knew that exactly what they needed to do to make sure that they could continue snowballing that into a victory for them. They really, like, their team comp is pretty solid at forcing those picks. So what they need to do is control that vision around Baron, and they need to make Connecticut face check them. They don't have the best tools to scout. I mean, they have Kog'Maw ulti. Actually, they do have a lot of tools. They have Kog'Maw ulti, they have the Orianna ball, and the Jarvan flag. So in a sense, they do have a good chance to check and see what's actually going on, even if the vision is all controlled by Florida State University. But they need to catch somebody out when they try and do that. And that seems to be what is going on pretty successfully, actually, right now. We can see that that Christmas tree of words is definitely in the favor of FSU.
And you pointed it out exactly. Florida State University are just capitalizing on finding University of Connecticut unprepared. It seems like anytime University of Connecticut is ready for a fight, the fight usually tends to go in their favor. They've got the Kog'Maw now with the completed Bork Triforce. They've got Orianna with the Rabadon's Athens. It's really going to be a very, very fun sort of fight once we see that 5v5 happen. And with Ziggs in the bottom lane, this could be the fight that we're looking at as Jasmine 33 looking for some action, but he's not going to find it in that tri-bush.
Yep, that would have been a perfect fight for them. We do have Lightning still down there. Flag and Dry comes in, and the game pauses.
Yeah, absolute worst pause ever. Maokai drops the ultimate. That's the Vengeful Maelstrom to try to get somebody. Jasmine looking for a Cataclysm, but game completely locks up and I've actually been booted. I think Blightning was actually on his way up there as well, so that would have been a quick 5v5. Let's play a fun game. How fast can our computers load back into the spectator match?
Oh,
this is hilarious.
Yep.
It's a lot better than yesterday.
I was talking about this yesterday, how I don't know how familiar you are with Dragon Ball Z. I was a big fan back in the day, but when Goku was going to Namek and he was training under the extra gravity, getting ready to fight Frieza, I feel like that's what this is. We're
Casting an increased gravity. You know what I mean? So we're just going to be, as soon as we get a spectator client that works, we're going to be incredible.
I mean, I think we're doing a pretty fantastic job right now. So I've loaded back into the match, but nothing seems to have happened. Whoa! And as I say that, I just catch right back up. It seems like the only person who died was Necro there, and then I lock up again.
Yeah, same here. But that is pretty interesting that of all the people that went down, the tankiest person in the game is actually the one who died. So.
It's funny how that works. Well, I guess that means he's doing his job. That he's getting into the front line and doing the best he can to protect his carries.
Yeah, that's true.
Very interesting.
Not much to really analyze until the game jumps ahead like it just does now. So, okay, let's go.
There's always something.
Sure, 1 second.
There's always something to talk about.
Yeah,
let's take a look at the items from these guys. Kha'Zix in the jungle. He's going for Pure Assassin. Spectral Lizard into Last Whisper, followed up by Black Cleaver. That's a very scary Kha'Zix.
Yeah, usually you see tactics go for that Hex Drinker, even just a little bit of defensive stats, simply because his ultimate, with that 50% damage reduction, actually scales really well with those defensive stats. But you can tell that he really does want to get that assassination down onto the Kog'Maw, and that's really what they do need to do. They need to burst through those shields, and Kha'Zix is actually quite a good answer to it if he can get on him without getting peeled by the Lulu, the Morgana, and the Jarvis. My game has a little bit of a stutter thing going on right now, but it looks like it might be live, and we see America looking for an engage.
Jasmine finds Hypoxia, drops it down. Meanwhile, Maokai goes deep on the huge AoE drop down. Jasmine is low. A Shockwave finds Lampeasy. He flashes away. Necro caught the Dark Finding. He goes in once again, but is going to be brought down by Enchantress. And Jasmine is going to be traded for it. Flaccid knocked away. He might actually survive because that Janna split up. Meanwhile, Hypoxia going deep. He's going to pick up a double kill for another 2, and Mr. Flaccid walks away with his life. That's a 3-for-1 trade.
So basically what's happening in these team fights is just that Kog'Maw isn't strong enough yet. He doesn't have the damage to really carry his team. He needs to get that eye edge before he can really turn it up a notch. And we can see Hypoxia and Ziggs, those two really strong mid to early late game champions, are really just bringing it right to Connecticut. They have so much damage right now. That Infinity Edge, that Rabadon Death Task, also sooner going to be completed with the, I expect, the Bloodthirster coming out of Hypoxia, and of course the Void Staff for Blightning. Those guys are just playing the team fights fantastically. Although we did have a good ultimate coming out of Mr. Flaccid, the damage was not nearly as close as to what Blightning was putting out with his ultimate.
Yeah, you pointed out that power spike exactly. We saw even when Lampeasy and Hypoxia walked away from the fight to clear out the blue buff and dragon, those buffs fell nigh instantaneously. They are building 100% nuke, but look at this sneaky dragon attempt coming down. It's at about half health right now, and it looks like UConn might be able to take it down. Dark Finding finds Blightning. They're going to steal it. Lampeasy goes deep. He's looking for the smite, but he doesn't get it. Caught in the Cataclysm. He's locked in between a Jarvan and a hot place. Gets knocked up, but is going to end up picking up that kill. Heal goes down. Shockwave finds only Hypoxia. Clara locked into the pit. It's going to be dropped as well by Lucian. Necro follows over the wall. He's finding Mr. Flaccid with no mana, but Baron Buff is going to help him catch that back up. On the other hand, a Bounty and T-Dollars are running for their lives. Necro continuing to go deep. Lampeasy looking for follow-up, but unfortunately Necro is going to fall. Let's see if Blightning and Lampeasy can do anything.
That Baron is really good for Connecticut. Getting that pretty much puts a pause timer on the game for the next 5 minutes, allowing that Kog'Maw to farm up, to keep scaling, and hopefully get closer towards that Infinity Edge if he so chooses to go that route. We do have a little bit of a pause. Not necessarily a player pause, but a Rito pause.
Oh, there we go. So yes, you mentioned that Baron buff would put a pause down, but that means you have to have the Baron buff on your team. Hypoxia gets absolutely obliterated by a collapse from Avanti and Mr. Flaccid. I don't know why he didn't try to make it over the wall, but Sometimes you just get that greed in your eyes. You feel the ham in your veins. Just gotta go pork.
I am familiar with the ham in the veins feeling. It's a good one. I love it. But they do have Baron left on 3 of their members, and 3 of them who also actually scale with AP, so that does help them out, obviously, because the Baron buff does give them increased ability power, and they do open up the opportunity for a siege, so we can see what happens here. The Zigzag goes down, and Claire is caught.
Clara way too far forward, gets dropped instantly. T-Dollars gets a reset, looking for yet another one, trying to find Avanti completely isolated, but Jasmine not going to let it happen, but he is going to get it with a double kill from Lightning. He leaps over the wall, continuing to fall up slow, finds Flaccid. Lightning is looking for the zone control. Bounce is going to find Flaccid. Shockwave does a bit of damage, but it is not enough. Flaccid has nowhere to go. A quick follow from Jasmine, looking to save one of his members. It's not going to happen, and he's shut down by Necro. Jasmine trying to flash the wall, and Ace is dropped. That's 3 kills being picked up by Lampeasy as he just chases one down after the other.
Yeah, that was a big misplay coming out of Connecticut. They didn't have Avanti's ultimate ready. Mr. Flaccid wasn't in position to actually heal for Enchantress Clara, and Clara actually didn't have any summoners up either. So he just got caught out by that Maokai and exploded with that damage that we were talking about. Unfortunately, plating does go down, but I don't think they're too worried about it as they march down that mid lane and get started on that inhibitor tower.
Yeah, the tower's certainly going to fall. Seems like that time around, Enchantress Clara was relying on the shield stacking from Lulu, Janna, and Morgana. But with all 3 of the shields dropped onto Jasmine in order to start trying to tank the turret, he ended up too far forward and got absolutely destroyed by BSG Lampeasy. That Black Cleaver Last Whisper combo just went to town, and I think we now know who the stronger Void creature truly is.
Yeah, especially with the build that Clara is choosing to go with right here. Generally, it's true you don't want to go for an Infinity Edge after you finish your Trinity Force, simply because you don't get enough crit out of it. You only get 10% crit, and that isn't really enough to kind of take advantage of what Infinity Edge can offer you. It does look like he's going for that static Shiv. I think that would be the right choice if they had a lot of health stackers like a Mundo, something like that, but as we've seen, the only real health stacker on their team is that Maokai, and I think he's going to miss the damage and the burst coming out of that Infinity Edge, so unless the game goes for another couple minutes, more than a couple minutes, he's not going to be able to get that Infinity Edge, and they could be in trouble. This is a desperate situation for them.
Absolutely. Baron buff has worn off. Florida State University are making a beeline for that naked inhibitor. They really want to take that down and secure more control over the map. With Dragon respawning in about a minute and Baron in 2 or 3 minutes away, this could be a really big window of opportunity for them if they manage to secure that inhibitor. Now, this is the siege composition we were talking about in Champions League. Let's see if they're going to be able to bring down this inhib.
Yeah, just a lot of poke trying to be landed. Whoever lands the skill shot is going to set the tone of this team fight. Necro getting poked down quite a bit, though he does have that Spirit Visage. They may have defended their base for a little bit of time until he can heal up, though he does have teleport if he so chooses to go clear that top lane and then TP back in and try and take that inhibitor.
Yeah, it should be pretty fun to see if he decides to go for that. I don't know that Maokai has that much damage outside of his Rod of Ages, so he certainly isn't going to have enough AD to try to snipe that down in time. It could just be a diversionary tactic that he might try to go for with Dragon respawning in about 30 seconds. Avanti totally caught out the plays from Courage, isolating Avanti from any sort of escape, and Hypoxia picks that up for free. Courage making some plays.
That fail flash too, that's pretty unfortunate. And we see Courage actually hitting up to 6 stats on that ultimate, on that Medjai's net.
Yeah, that was just super, super awesome. Now the Megan Fireball is dropping. Teleport coming in from behind. Necro is looking for Mr. Flaccid and Clara, who are conveniently stacked side by side. Mr. Flaccid gets shield wall. He is going to drop a heal to try to stay alive, but Courage gets a few too many turret hits. He's walking away with a quick cleanse to keep him up. Jasmine looking for the assassination. Cataclysm is dropped. He's not going to find one. A double kill from Lampeasy as Necro is continuing to tank for Clara. The turret is now attacking Hypoxia. He is going to go down, and this looks like he cannot pick a proper target. An ace
wow,
for one person.
So low there. He had about 10 HP after that Kog'Maw exploded on him. Really lucky.
Yeah, very, very crazy plays coming out over here. Florida State University, they are just pulling every single little inch that they can. That extra 10 HP on Lampezi would have equalized out the game 20 minutes ago. That one little assassination onto Courage earlier on would have equalized the game. But as it stands, they're continuing to snowball these tiny, tiny advantages further and further. That's the third, or I think that's actually the fourth Dragon we've seen go over to Florida State University, bringing them to a 9,500 gold lead over UConn.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And with Baron coming up in the next 30 seconds, we can see if they can do that same sort of objective control over on the top side of the map. It does seem like they're all moving up there. They all do have those sweeping lenses to clear out all the vision over there. And as soon as they pick up that Baron, I think they'll be in a really good position to move towards closing out this game. They've got, I'd say, another 5 to 10 minutes before Kog'Maw does get his Infinity Edge, and I think that would probably be Connecticut's last chance. So we'll see if they do decide to go for that Baron right away, or if they decide to pick up some of those outlying towers on the top of the map.
You know, we spent so much time talking about late game Kog'Maw and his impact that he's going to have on the late game. I really think that he is going to be doing a lot of damage, but seeing how successful Florida State University is at sniping their targets, I don't know that he's going to be able to survive for very long. Necro, he's just completely tanking the Baron for his team here. Everybody knows that this Baron is happening. Avanti going for a bit of split push in the bottom. Teleport is available. This looks like FSU are just going to peel off now and try to find a pick, perhaps onto Clara. They just might be able to get it. Look at the burst damage go down. Clara knocked low. Lampezi too far forward. He's going to have to use the ultimate to survive. Mega Inferno Bomb is barely not enough. Mr. Placid now going to be the one who's got, doesn't even get the shockwave off as Avanti split pushes in the bottom lane, and Florida State University are going to look for an objective for revenge.
That's really unfortunate. That could have been a really good play coming out of Connecticut. It's too bad that Placid and Clara did get caught. Monty does get to pick up the tower, but for what ends? We see FSU actually getting that Baron down really quickly. We'll see if the steal is going to come out from Connecticut.
Yeah, Jasmine 33 waiting over the wall. Monsoon to knock him away. He does still have the Dragon Slide, but it is successfully picked up by Lampezi, who's standing in that Tormented Soil, but walks away with his life. Avanti coming in from the flank, drops the ultimate just for some style points, I think. But this is now Florida State University. They are only about 8,900 gold, down from the 9.5, but they now have the Baron buff and a Naked Inhibitor.
I'm really hoping that we can see Courage actually hit that 20-stack Magi. He's at 10 right now. He hasn't died yet. And I think that we might be able to finish this game based on the way that these team fights are going so far.
Yeah, and again, like I mentioned in the early game, take a look at the ward coverage. Florida State University understand the importance of finding isolated targets. That's how they were able to jump onto Clara, which ended up in a kill on Placid. Even now that they have the Baron buff, 40 minutes into the game, and they've got an inhibitor down, they're still maintaining complete control of the jungle of University of Connecticut. This is some really confident play coming out from Florida State.
Yeah, you're totally right. You don't want to have a cat jump into a team without his Guardian Angels up, but when it's one person, of course, he's just going to jump in there and explode them almost immediately. We might see a dive coming around. Courage going in the back.
Jasmine 33 is just obliterated by Hypoxia, and Enchantress Clara takes a good wild growth, but he is so slow that he can't escape from the fight. A huge AoE goes down. Lampezi is going to fall, and with that assassination potential, this means Clara can go deep. He did get that shutdown gold, but the zone control is too much. He can't find an isolated target. Necro is going to get another one there, just trading frontliners for frontliners, but it is currently 3-2 in Florida State University's favor.
In their flavor. I think their flavor is Kog'Maw, let's be honest. They've been jumping on him all game. But Hypoxia is just so big right now, especially with that Janna protection and that Janna steroid. Oh!
Look at the play from Courage. Clara, isolated from his team, gets destroyed by Hypoxia. That's the second time that he's used that Monsoon offensively. Courage is just making some plays.
I thought he was going to die. I thought he was going to lose his stacks. I'm so happy that he didn't. 1, 0, and 20 on that Janna support. What a boss.
That is amazing to see Courage play so well on that Janna. And now that's another inhibitor turret falling. Did the second turret respawn and just get destroyed? Yes, it did. So that is now a second naked inhibitor for University of Connecticut. Now, Connecticut's down about 11,000 gold. they've been slowly losing ground this entire game. First losing the second Baron, then slipping up on turrets, and finally slipping up on the Dragon. What can they do to turn themselves around?
To be honest, at this point, they really just need that perfect Orianna ult. We saw it last team fight. It wasn't quite enough, but now that Kongma has picked up his last Whisper, we'll see if it does make the difference. He's there. He's reached his late game point. It's just if the cohesiveness of Connecticut is their team fight strength, their synergy as a team is good enough to actually hold their base, make sure that they don't get pushed in from all angles, and if they're able to sort of hold FSU back, there is the potential for a comeback. They just need to play their team fight perfectly. So we'll see if they can do it as FSU moves down into their base.
Yeah, it's now 44 minutes into the game, 27-11 in favor of Florida State University as they press their 10,000 gold advantage to look for a second inhibitor. They're nearly all full build. That's going to be Ziggs, Kha'Zix, and Lucian completely stacked up, and an additional 13 stacks on the support Janna. That inhibitor is going to drop. It's now or never for University of Connecticut. Seems like it might be never.
See that Kog'Maw damage. Thankfully, the Kha'Zix does have his Guardian Angel up. Looks like he'll be okay. That Morgana support trying to make some courage plays, but not quite, buddy, not quite.
Hero mode coming out from T-Dollars, aka T-Money, but he's not finding the target that he needs to. He's really got to try to find either Lightning or Hypoxia. Those are the two main damage sources, and the culling is dropped to clear a minion wave. Looks like it is going to be another turret under siege for University of Connecticut.
Yep, all FSU needs to do right here is play patient, wait for those super minions to stack up in the base of Connecticut, and if they do that, this should be an easily secured victory for them. So let's see if they don't get too greedy here as they go for the last tower.
Again, Furtobomb finds T-Dollars. It's going to be Leprechaun Flash just drops Lampeasy way too far. Clara is going to drop down once again. A quick shockwave pops the Guardian Angel. Meanwhile, Flash gets knocked back. Courage with another hero monsoon knocks enemies back into his team. That's 2 kills, and with the 2 carries gone, there's almost certainly no chance that Connecticut survive. It's 3 versus 5 with not a single inhibitor standing, and the dive is happening.
Yeah, Bonky looks like he's gonna go down, unfortunately, once more, and the game ended without a result. But regardless,
I think it's fairly safe to infer.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Courage probably got the last hit on the Nexus 2. That guy's a boss. MVP for me, absolutely. 1-0-23, 26 or 16 stacks on that Medjai's. I think that guy's going to the LCS.
Yeah, you hear the word awesome all the time, but until you really understand its derivative, to be full of awe, then you can really apply it to somebody. And Courage, man, that guy is awesome.
That bottom lane deserves a round of applause, I think. Even with all the hiccups that we had today in our spectator client, it wasn't so terrible that we couldn't see Courage and Hypoxia wrecking face today and doing a fantastic job and making sure that they took home that victory against the late game team comp of Connecticut.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic stuff. But I think that's going to be it for us, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very, very much for tuning in. We are going to be running ads for a little bit once the stream is over, but be sure to come back later today in order to catch the next set of games. Do you happen to know who's playing today?
I'm not exactly sure, but I think it's on the website.
Yes. Oh, okay, you guys definitely need to come back. Our stream overlord has just declared that it is going to be San Jose State's A team versus San Jose State University's B team. And San Jose State B team from NLCS Season 1 was able to make it into first place during the regular season, and their A team won the actual playoff bracket itself. So now that we're splitting those up into 2 separate teams, it is going to be absolutely thrilling to see these guys who practice with each other, who play with each other, who live with each other, go head-to-head in an amazing match.
That's super hype. Can't wait for it.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Castrosada. I have been joined by Musky Bad. Don't go anywhere, and be sure to catch us for our second game later tonight. Thanks for watching.